Kia ora, Lara here for Confessions of a Paper Addict design team, and I'm going to be using the Scattered Hearts cut file. You can find me on social media as Scrappykea, so that's on Instagram, YouTube and Facebook. So the Scattered Hearts cut file is absolutely gorgeous, and when I first saw it I was thinking a full page scattered hearts kind of thing, stencils, all the rest. And then when I sort of sat down to draw a sketch of what this layout might turn out like, I decided that I wanted it smaller, so I cut it, shrunk it down to 9.5 in its tallest dimension, and then cut the White Daisy cardstock down to 10 by 10. So that allows, when I stick it on the pattern paper, whichever pattern paper background I choose, to shine through those gorgeous little hearts. And so I do highlight them a little bit more later on as part of this process. So first up, I am just matting my photos. So being so close to Valentine's Day, it made sense to scrap a photo of my husband and myself. On my last layout it was just our feet, and now this is sort of looking back at our faces in the same spot. So just another way to document that story. The photos could have gone on the same layout, but they kind of felt like they needed a story to themselves, because one sort of shows us and our personalities a little bit more, and the other is sort of just a nice togetherness kind of shot. So I have just pulled some of these papers from the Smitten collection by Close to My Heart. So this is sort of a special collection, I guess, to do with February being a month of sort of love papers and things like that, with Valentine's Day being part of it. So I've just layered up lots of these papers and just sticking them together to try and sort of have a bit of a cluster that I want to sit amongst those scattered hearts. So I'm doing these a little bit off center. I didn't want it perfect and fitting with that whole scattered look, and I'm now just wrinkling up these paper edges to give a wee bit more texture and dimension to the photograph. And it also means that some of the really bright colours reduce their impact, so there's less of them showing because it's sort of wrinkled up and a little bit different, which means that the beautiful blue of the background that I end up picking will peek through and shine out a whole lot more, and the torn bits there as well. So happy with that. So now I'm going to do the trimming down from the thing, so I'm on the cut file. So I've just used some White Daisy cardstock and I'm trimming that down to 10 by 10 and sitting it on the background. So just taking off that manufacturer's strip there. It's quite pretty actually. It's got nice blue, that same blue, but quite an intense pattern on it, so it'll be good to use for something else a little bit later on. So you can see how there that's created that lovely border. The hearts are there and they just look really pretty, and it just really adds to how this is all coming together. So I'm going to stick that down. So to stick this down, I sort of try and get as much as I can around the hearts so that they will sit flat on the page and not be sticking out too much. So I do go inside them as well where I can, and also some bold bits through the edges, through the middle I should say, and using my mat I'm sort of lining this up so that I can see that each corner is fitting 1 inch in from the outside edges, so that worked out quite well. So I'm going to stick this photo mat down. I wondered about putting it up with foam tape, but I think because of all the layers it's got enough lift and there's still space to peek things underneath the different layers around the photograph. So I have got the Smitten collection stickers and I'm going to be using them to tuck in at various points around it as well. So before I do that, I'm going to do that actually. I've pulled out some of the acrylic letters that you can see over to the right there, and just to write the word soak on this page. And I'm tucking in some of those cute little heart stickers and little layered stickers and things from that Smitten collection. There's some gorgeous little hearts, and so they bring in that orangey colour, that, or tangerine it might be, that's in one of those background papers, and it's just quite nice scattering them around and knowing that I'm bringing in those different colour elements that I have already used. Quite like more of those little hearts in that in those sticker sheets. A whole sheet of just them would be fabulous. but never mind. So I've got the main elements there, the main aspects of the layouts ready to go. I do need to add my title and my journaling, and I feel like I need to lift those blue hearts up just that little bit more throughout. They're there, but they're almost too subtle from the boldness of the photo and things, and I want it all to match up quite nicely. So now I'm going to stick down these titles. Because these are an acrylic letter, I need to use the liquid glass. I could use the green Tombow, but I love the precision of the nozzle that I've added onto the liquid glass here. My liquid glass lasts a couple of years usually, and this one is sort of getting towards where I feel like I need to have another supply of it ready to go should it be completely used up. So it's had some good use over the last couple of years. So as I've put the adhesive on each of these, I've sort of tried to hold them down a little bit to let the adhesive bond with the acrylic and with the paper in the background. So I'm going to outline the hearts. So this is what I was meaning before about when I felt I needed to lift them up a little bit more. So I'm just drawing on the inside of the scattered heart, and you can see that that's just really highlighting them and bringing them out as a key aspect of the layout rather than just sitting beautifully in the background. So sort of you think of scrapbook layouts and things, you could do the basics and then you can do a few more things that just help lift or enhance, and this is one of those things that isn't necessary, but I really like how it turned out. And it does, however, mean that I do need to add another sort of pen drawn element onto the page somewhere other than just my journaling, and I will add that on in a little bit. I did wonder about getting the sewing machine out to do a bit of a border around that white, but I'm not sure if it's because I was too lazy to pull it out from the shelf under where I'm sitting, or just couldn't be bothered, but I came up with an alternative to that. So I'm just adding some notes on that wee journaling tab that's up there. That was from that sticker collection, and then I'm going to add my journaling just sort of down this bottom right corner beside the title. So I'm essentially just saying similar to what I said before about this photo where we were away sort of for an early wedding anniversary getaway, which was quite lovely. And yeah, it was just really nice to be able to sit in the hot tub and relax and chill out away from normal everyday life stuff. And so there we have it. Could finish here, but I don't. As I said before, I needed to add something else, so I just add some faux stitching around this outside edge, and when I finish this, it looks right and I feel really happy with how it has turned out. So it does take a little bit of time to go through that, and I'm using the thickest nib journaling pen that I've got here, which is the 1.0 or the 0.10. Maybe, yeah, I'm not even sure now, it might be 0.5. It's certainly the thickest one that I have from close to my heart. Excuse the dogs barking in the background, not sure what's going on, but never mind. So just making sure that they're reasonably even, but they're not perfect. So there's lots of stitching stamps and stuff if you don't trust your penmanship or the steadiness of your hand to go around these outside edges, and they could have looked really cool too. But for want of not getting other bits and pieces out, and for simplicity's sake, I'm just doing it this way. So just on the home straight now, finishing up that last little bit. Loving this Smitten collection. I fully recommend getting a hold of it before it is sold out, and definitely get the Scattered Hearts cut file from Confessions of a Paper Addict on Etsy. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, give it the thumbs up. If you're not already one of my wonderful subscribers, I'd love you to subscribe so that more of these videos can pop up in your feed. Thank you for watching.